It has been a long and storied career that he's put together. I don't see any other player going out and accomplishing what he's accomplished as an individual on the football field. So 7 Super Bowl titles, 10, 11 Super Bowl appearances, whatever it's been. God knows how many AFC championship games, NFC championship games.
I'll give you the floor on Tom Brady. Howie Long, what do you think of his career? Go for it.
Well, I don't think it will ever be duplicated. That's for sure.
That man over 2 decades was able to remain at the top of the NFL.
He has put together one heck of a career. I just want to tell him congratulations on one heck of a career. There's no other competitor that has the heart and the will to win.
Mentally tough! Why to play at a time, do your job!
They don't have the kind of heart that he has.
7 Super Bowl wins, obviously. A guy that will never be matched or ever have an equal in the NFL.
We would go into game planning, and we would literally walk in a team room. Like when I was in Baltimore, and we're getting ready to go up to New England and play those guys, hey, guys, we got to change all of our signals. This guy knows all of our signals. So this meant, hey, well, there's a box, right? We're in corners. We're going to box.
Video camera. Yeah.
And so then, 3 days later, nobody knows what frick we're doing just because of that dude. Just because we thought he had everything down pat and anything we did, he was already going to have all the answers to the test. Oh, yeah. And so we waste all that time on coming up with new signals only to have those guys, Eddie, Ray Lewis, we did it here in Indy, have the guys come in, D-Buck come in and go, Coach, what are we doing? We just waste a bunch of time. We don't have any idea. Nobody has. These young players that we're playing with, they have no idea what we're going to be in. So I don't care if he knows, if we know, okay? If we're all wrong, we're all right. That gives us at least a chance. But unbelievable. I didn't win a lot against this dude. I didn't have very many opportunities to celebrate.
The number of offensive linemen he played with in New England, the number of running backs, the number of tight ends, the number of wide receivers, the iterations of coaching staffs, with the exception of Bill. And
he just always got him in the right thing. And right when you think you had him, he'd make a play on you.
His first Super Bowl was the Super Bowl after 9/11. And we had it down in New Orleans, and it was a game that if you looked at every game film you could possibly watch, you couldn't make a case for New England to win that football game. And Terry Bradshaw and his Forrest Gump kind of, brilliance made the statement that, in a year like this, with all this country's been through, how can't you pick a team called the Patriots?
He's the best that ever done it. And it was a nightmare getting ready to play him.
Tom's first kind of stroke of masterpiece, taking the drive down at the end of the game.
The favorite Brady play to me, it's quite a few of them. I think the one that comes to everybody's mind is the 82-yard bomb in Miami.
Over the middle, now nobody there. Now he shoots it long and deep for Troy Brown. He's got it! He's got it to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown! Touchdown!
And to finally beat those guys in Miami and end the game on an 82-yard bomb from Tom Brady. So, yeah.
The funny thing was, typically when you get older, you're asked to do less and you manage the game, and that certainly hasn't been the case with him.
And I know there's a bunch of defensive coordinators out there that are still coaching that are extremely fired up that Tom's retired.
Were there people who threw the ball better? Yes. Better athletes? Yes. Check. We all saw the combine footage. What made Tom special was his will, his heart, and his head.
A man that has dedicated his entire being to being an NFL football player.
It's so fascinating about Tom's career, the arc in the breadth and scope of his career.
He did that for 20 fucking years. Yeah. Every day of his life getting beat up and torqued on and eating avocado ice cream, which has to taste like shit. And all the food that he kind of cut out of his life so that his body could remain at the highest possible level so he could continue to compete. We have to be thankful for that fucking guy. And our league was lucky to have Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. A part of it for so long.
Tom was able to wring every drop of football out of that mind and that body, that heart that he could. And, we wish these guys could play forever. And I think this is about as close to forever as you're going to get out of a quarterback in the NFL. It will never be duplicated.
I'm so appreciative of you pointing out the origin, how it did begin on such a national stage with the whole country with hearts and throats watching a football game in that stadium just a few months after the attacks of 9/11 and wondering whether this country could ever hold such a big event, a target. There's no other way to put it. And then the fact that he performed the way that he did and then the legend was born.
You can't not respect the guy. Like, he is the GOAT.
What he's done as a 40-year-old, that's insane, man. I mean, the numbers are insane. Ken Stabler's numbers of his career, I was pointing out, and they're going to share a bust room with him and you, together forevermore. His passing yards and career passing touchdowns as a 40-year-old are akin to Stabler's career. I mean, come on. This is insane.
Every human that's ever played or coached in a league would say he's the greatest of all fucking time. Yeah. Why is that, Darius? Why was he the greatest of all time? Other than just winning 7 Super Bowls, what was it about on the field that made him different than everybody else?
That's what it was about. Every time he showed up, he's going to be prepared, going to have all the answers. Similar to the Peyton Manning, who I think Sports Pope called the greatest regular season quarterback of all time. But being in that New England locker room, even with how high the sense of urgency always was, when we play another great like a Peyton Manning, like everything just goes up. And like to Chuck's point, so much so sometimes when you end up yourself because very similar to Foxy when you're playing him in 33, when you pass him a ball out to the corner, he's going to hit, he's going to show up. And that's the same thing with Tom Brady. I actually said it to Foxy yesterday. 3rd down, red zone, 2-minute. Like, he's always going to be prepared, and everybody that's on the field with him is going to be the same thing. Practice, meeting rooms, games. And that's greatness. He wasn't like a Trevor Lawrence or a Peyton or one of these guys who were like, oh, yeah, that's the guy from the time they're 13 years old. He's relatable to everybody. You saw his body at the combine. He went 199. He got his chance, and then he just prepared, worked his ass off, was coachable. So as a teammate, that's important. When you walk into a locker room and you see Tom Brady in the front of the room taking notes, you see him getting put on the low lights, getting called out by Belichick. That goes a long way throughout that locker room, similar to, MJ and Phil or Tim Duncan and Popovich. So it's a lot, you go on and on about Brady, but he was a dog.
It went through so many different iterations of offensive philosophies and so many different players. People talk about chemistry and, how long can we hold the group together? The group was Bill and Tom.
Him being able to be yelled at is a trait that is good for being a quarterback. Him taking less money is a trait that is good for him being a teammate. Like, everything about him just personifies being a great NFL quarterback. The team loved him. Yeah. Vinatieri used to tell stories about he and the boys would go out and have a great time. Yeah. Like, being relatable, that's not just being like a drafted at 199 and working your ass off. It's also off the field, hanging out with the boys, and also utilizing what you can do that nobody else can do and having your boys benefit from it. Yeah. There's trips that Tom Brady gets a lot of guys to go on that they would never be able to go on. That only builds up the team chemistry and camaraderie and the respect that a guy has. Everything about him is great leadership and football player. I love him. I'm a massive fan of his.
For someone to even embark on, it's climbing Everest and, and doing it multiple times and then doing it again and again and again and again.
To just every day try and wake up and be better than you were yesterday for the good of your team, for the good of your legacy, for the good of the league. This is a man that we need to honor and say thank you to.
And it takes so much out of you, and there's so many injuries or free agency or salary cap cuts or things that happen around you or coaching moves. In order for you to be that successful and that great and to win that much, the one constant is Tom.
Now that it's over, it is kind of crazy looking back on it and seeing those years stacked up and what he was able to do. Like the stats about his 20s, 30s, and 40s with how, how many yards and passing touchdowns he has, and just the amount of seasons he's played just in the playoffs. I think it's like 3 seasons or something.
3
like
total,
that.
yeah, 48 games.
Yeah, and I think his record was like 35 and 48. Or something in the playoffs. Like he only lost 13 elimination games, obviously, because he had 7 Super Bowls and they missed a couple years because he tore his ACL and everything.
Thank you for your service to the NFL, sir.
Thank you, Tom. Love you, Tom.
To say that you play with probably the greatest player to play the game, it means a lot. And I think it means a lot to me too, because this is where his career started. This is where he threw his first pass, his first touchdown, right here in New England, and I was there to see it and witness it. I just want you to wish you the best of luck with whatever else it is you decide to do with the rest of your life. So, hope it's come hang out with me a little bit, but whatever it is, enjoy it, my friend, and nothing ever take away what you accomplished in this league. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe as I post a new Tom Brady video every day.